Anand sir.
I hope everything is fine at your end.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Welcome to another marketing strategy class, specifically focused on services marketing today. As you know, service is very, very important. 60% contribution to GDP is from services sector. So we'll focus on services. We had already a discussion on the case, the twins' first service encounter. If you remember, Maddie and Amy, North Carolina hospital, how casually they have handled and what happened. We have gone through the case. So now let me sum up the sessions through the concepts so that it will complete the process. Now, as we discussed in the case, service blueprint is very, very essential for any organization to make its services visible and efficient. So every organization should have a service blueprint. And what is service blueprint? It is a visual operational tool that maps the entire service delivery process. So basically you map the service delivery process. So it's a roadmap for your service which you will be going to offer. Like in customer experiences with, I think it is linking customer experiences with behind the success internal actions and systems. So basically it is a roadmap in nutshell. And what is service blueprint in nutshell and a little bit elaborative way? It is a graphical presentation of the standard operating processes you will be going to follow while offering service to your customer. Now, what are the different steps that is involved in designing a service blueprint? First one is identify the process. Now you know exactly what is your customer's journey. Looking at the journey, for example, you are an educational institution. So your customer is your student. Though normally we say they are raw materials, we finish them with a finished product, brand them and sell it to the corporates. I can take another example. For example, a customer is working to a hotel, 5-star. So identify the process through which the customer will go through. Second, identify the customer, have a customer profiling, detailed profiling so that it will be easier and give you clarity what kind of customer he is or she is, so that it will be going to help you to offer the requisite services. Now, third one is examine the customer perspective. You have to look into his journey as a customer. Fourth one is identify actions from employees. What kind of actions your employees normally take to fulfill that service journey. And fifth one is link activity for natural flow. So you should have a SOP, standard operating process, so that you should exactly know if this happens, what should be the service backup. If this happens, what kind of services we should give to the customers. Then you have to have your key performance indicators, which will be a deciding factor for your success. Now this is basically what is service blueprint. So it's a graphical presentation of your processes that you will be going to follow to serve your customer. And these are the steps. Now let us come into the lines of service blueprint. There are 3 lines in a service blueprint. So if a layman is looking at service blueprint, might not be able to understand the integration. So simple, there are 3 layers: line of interaction, line of visibility, line of internal interactions. Let me give you a simple example so that you will understand. Line of interaction is basically when for the first time your customer will be going to interact with you. Might be, suppose you are a hotel owner and the customer is trying to reach your hotel, might be through offline or online. So this is called service line of interaction. Line of visibility is basically when the customer lands in your service space and start taking these services. So that is the visibility, how your customer, how your employees are approaching your customers, how your service escape or physical evidence, chair, table, AC, other facilities, lifestyle facilities inside your property, how they are complementing your claims of service. And the third one is line of internal interaction, that is interaction between your employees. For example, if a customer is ordering you for a particular food, how much time you are taking to give the food and with what precision. Because sometimes what happens, customers are ordering something, but you are thinking something, the chef is preparing something and something is given to the customer and customer is not happy. So it is how smoothly your employees are interacting with each other, sharing their ideas and expertise so that the customer order has to be fulfilled. So there are 3 lines of interaction: line of interaction, line of visibility, line of internal interaction. 3 lines in service blueprint. Now, we had covered the basics of service blueprint. When all these things are happening, let me give you a backdrop of why service blueprint is essential. Why we are trying to have a graphical representation of all our standard operating processes. Because when you offer intangible services, there are basically 4 gaps. The first gap is knowledge gap. You don't understand what your customer exactly wants. The second one is, though you understand, you don't have a standard inside your organization about your service delivery process. Now you understand the customer, what he wants, now you have got a standard, but there is less execution. What does it mean? It means your employees are not there, either they don't have the skill to execute it, or there are some lack of motivation in your employees' part. So that is the reason they are not able to give the requisite service. 3 things are great, but there is no proper communication between your customer to employees, management, and management to only there is a downward communication. So you are not listening to your customers. So if you don't listen to your customers, then this blueprint is a lighthouse to show you that there is a need to listen to your customers, because listening customers are very, very important for your service delivery process. Feedbacks are very important in service delivery because it's intangible, it's not tangible. Okay, now having said that, now in academics, in marketing strategy, we normally use servuction model to understand the efficiency of a particular service delivery. In servuction model, we have got 3 visible factors, 1 invisible factor. 3 visible, first one is your other customers, employees, and then you have got your physical evidence. But 1 invisible factor, which is rules and regulations and standard operating process, which decides the success and failure of your service delivery. So this model is very important. So before you go and decide on a service marketing strategy, so these basic things are very important. You cannot ignore RATER also, because RATER is the scale through which you measure your performance. There is a beautiful model called Southall model, service quality model, which is given by Perry Chetmal to understand services. So what is RATER model? Whatever service you are offering, it will be judged through reliability, assurance, tangibility, empathy, and responsiveness. So when you offer all these services, you will be going to calculate the service delivery efficiency through RATER model. So this is the basic. After having exhaustive case discussion on the doings first service encounter, this is what is required to conclude the discussions. So I'll stop here. Any question, any doubt, you can ask right now. If you don't have, we can take it in the next class. And in the next class, we will talk about brake bicycles. That will be a fantastic case study of mapping customer decision-making process. So we will bring stimulus response model and other models into the picture, and we will handle it. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.